Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Megan, and I'm back with another video for my Stephen King project where I read every single Stephen King book in chronological order, chapter by chapter. Today I will be talking about Thinner. So, to start, I rated this 3 stars, but it's like a high 3 stars because I did really like it, but there were parts that I didn't exactly like. But some of them are more of a me not liking it choice because I think a lot of people, like when I was reading the reviews on Goodreads, people really, really like this one. Um, but yeah, there was just some things in it for me that I just didn't quite, I guess I just didn't quite like. But let's jump into it. So, this is about Billy. He is a lawyer. He's overweight. And one day, he and his wife are driving home from an event. And one thing leads to another. And he accidentally runs over this old woman. And from there, he is basically cursed. Because the woman that he hit, apparently her father is still alive. Because they're gypsies. I mean, I know that word isn't really used anymore, but as this is 1984, we're going to go with that. And so basically these gypsies curse him. And his curse is to become thinner. And at first he's like, well, what's that mean? And over the course of probably, well, I guess the entirety of this book, he gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So he basically becomes skin and bones. And so what ends up happening is he goes and he's like, well, I need to get this curse taken off of me, basically. Like, how do I go about doing that? And this whole book is about him obviously losing weight, but also trying to figure out how to stop this curse. I thought it was very fast paced, and I really enjoyed like each week I was like, oh, okay, like what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? Kind of thing. And I mean, it did kind of get a little tedious. You're like, okay, he's like losing weight. He's losing weight. Okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then there's like a really long part near the end, like middle-ish, near the like middle end-ish part where it just kind of starts sagging a bit and the chapter got really long and I was like, we didn't need all of this kind of exposition. And I think that's what kind of like took it down for me a little bit, was because I was like, okay, well, what's gonna happen? And then we find out, so in the end, how it ends, I didn't kind of care for it. Because it just felt really abrupt, I guess. I don't know. I felt like he went through all of this trouble to end the curse, only only to end his life, basically. Like, I guess that's the conclusion that I came to. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I get it. Some people are like, oh, well, because X, Y, and Z, like with his daughter, I get, like, they're like, oh, well, like, if she's not around, then there's no point in living. And I was just like, I get that, but I don't know. I wanted more. Like, I wanted it to end, and then, like, maybe there'd be, like, an epilogue afterwards, and then, like, it leads up to that. Like, oh, I couldn't live with it, so then he does that. But no, it's just, like, straight, like, reaction is him just like, nope, can't do it. And I'm just like, I didn't really care for that. But it is what it is. Like I say, this was still really good. I liked the concept a lot because it really had to do with justice and what people perceive as justice. Because what one person thinks is justice to them, like the father, like cursing Billy, he sees that as justice for his daughter's death. But it's like when they think that he's even, like, is that the same justice that Billy has for the father? Like, it's very interesting. I just liked the concept of justice and what it meant and what it means to people. I thought that was really well done. But yeah, anyways, this was still a 3-star read for me. I did watch the movie from 1996, and I liked that. I liked that was faster paced than the book. Like, it moved like this, and I was like, oh, this is really good. I feel like the movie also made it more dramatic. Like, they added a whole aspect where the like, Billy goes to the doctor, and, like, they're like, oh, you need to go to this clinic, blah, 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 like, in the book, he makes that up. He doesn't actually go to the clinic because he actually goes to see the gypsy man instead. So, in the movie, they're like, oh, they're like, oh, you need to go to a clinic, you need to get help, blah, 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 and then the doctor ends up, like, there's, like, this, like, affair that maybe the doctor's having, with his wife, so, I mean, it makes it more spiteful for Billy. Like, Billy is really spiteful, like, he hates everybody, and I think I liked that more in the movie, because in the book, he was kind of just blasé, and kind of just, like, la-di-da, went with the motions, like, I didn't really care about Billy at all. I was just like, oh, I just want to know what was going to happen to him. I was like, otherwise I don't really care. But in the movie, the actor really made us feel for Billy, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, what's going to happen? Like, he's just so spiteful. He just hates his wife so much. But this made sense why he hated her. Because, like, they added this extra little bit, and I was like, this makes sense why he hates her. In the book, it doesn't really make sense. Like, he hates her for how it happened, and I get that, but I was like, it was very thin, like, how, like, why that was the only reason. Like, I don't know, so, the movie was better in that regards. The ending was so elusive, because it was just like, so, is he gonna eat the pie? Like, and we never really find out, but I was just like, oh, that's really interesting. But it was like, because he was so spiteful, I'm like, he's gonna make everybody else around him eat it, and, like, he's not going to, and, like, he's gonna stay alive just out of spite, and we don't actually know anything, like, we don't find out what happens to the daughter, like, that's also just kind of left up to, like, you decide if she lives or dies, where in the book you know exactly what happens to her. So, I don't know. I gave both 3 stars. They both had their respective 3 stars, for the different reasons, but in the end, I still really enjoyed it. I'm still glad that I read it. So if you've read Thinner, if you've watched Thinner, let me know in the comments below. As for my next King book, it will be The Drawing of the Three, The Dark Tower book, number 2. This is a reread for me. I read the whole series back in 2017, and I actually read it so that I could watch the movie, and I still never watched the movie. But once I finish the reread of this series, I think I'm going to do that. But that is going to take me probably a good, I believe I calculated it to about 10 weeks. So I will be back in June to talk about my thoughts on The Drawing of the Three. So stay tuned for that. But that is all I have for you guys today. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, a do your thing, and I'll see you all in my next video. So thanks, and bye, guys.